Hey friends, and welcome to the vlog. I don't know what I was about to say, but anyways, welcome to the vlog. I've just started a book, and when I get home today, I will start another book that I just got. But so the first book that I am listening to right now from the library is Dial A for Aunties. I think this is like a cozy romance mystery. I really don't know right now. I'm only like 5% into this, so not very far at all at this point. And sorry, we need to move that around. And so I'm only like 5% into this. And they're just kind of setting up characters and everything. And my biggest issue right now is I don't like the naming conventions that she has for her aunts. Meaning, she hasn't actually given them names. They're all like, there's big aunt, big aunt. I'm Southern, so sorry. Big aunt, and then second aunt and fourth aunt, and then obviously her mom. And I'm just like, she keeps calling them that. Like, big aunt said this, fourth aunt said this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, that is so irritating to me. So I don't know how I feel about that. It's very irritating to me right now, and like, the audiobook narrator is very chippery and happy, and it's kind of weird, but I don't know if it always fits what the character is actually saying, so it's kind of weird. So I don't know. This is also based in like Indonesian and Chinese. I know those are two different things, but they are Indonesian and Chinese, so in those cultures. So I don't know if that's a thing within that culture, that's what you call your aunts and your uncles. They're the big aunt, second aunt, because like I call my aunt by her name. So I'm just like, and like my nieces call me, well, they call me Mare, but eventually I would assume they would call me Mary, because I just don't, we don't, like, in my family we just don't do that. So anyways, it's just, I know obviously things can be different. It's just something, I don't know why it's irritating me so much. Like I'm just like, okay, cool. I don't like, why can't you just call them aunt? Or why can't you just call them by their name? I just wish I would like that better, but so far it's fine. I mean, nothing has happened within this 5%. Like, they're all sitting around at a table trying to get this wedding planned, because I think like their business is like wedding planning, and so far they've talked about like how basically there's a curse on their family that all the men in the family leave. So and basically the hopes and dreams of this whole family is put on our narrator, our main girl's shoulders, and she can't actually go do what she wants to do because she doesn't want to let anybody down and that kind of thing. So obviously I think we will come to a different perspective as the book goes on, but so I don't really know exactly what this is about. I just heard people talk about it and thought I'd get out of the library, see what it was all about. I don't know if I'm going to continue it. Right now it is sitting on the chopping block, so I will see. I will give it a little bit more time, obviously, and decide later, but I will let you know later if I do decide to continue or not. The book I'm going to start when I get home is Bright Young Women by Jessica Knoll. I've been hearing about this book everywhere, and so I was just like, I have to buy this. So this is like a new purchase, which, yeah, I'm about to show you again some other books I bought yesterday at Barnes & Noble, because I can't be stopped. This I actually got on Amazon, but because for some reason I just have to buy everything. But I mean, I had to go to Bath & Body Works, and Bath & Body Works in Barnes & Noble are in the same mall in my town. So I need that. But anyways, I can't wait to start Bright Young Women. I'm super excited about this. I knew I'd want a physical copy. Like, yeah, I could just listen to it, but I really wanted a physical copy because I have a feeling I'm going to want to annotate this. So I had to get an actual copy. of this. Very excited. Like I said, I haven't started it. I'm going to start it when I get home from work today because I don't think I have anything else to do after work. So yeah. Now, let's see what's in the Barnes & Noble bag. So like I said, I went to Bath & Body Works. Had to get some more smelly things for my house, a little more wallflowers and stuff. So since I was there, I thought might as well just get some books. And so I got Nestlings by Nat Cassidy. If you don't know, I loved Mary to bits and fucking pieces, so I needed his other book. This is his most recent one. I don't remember if this came out last year or this year, but I'm super excited about this. It didn't sound like a synopsis I would like, but after reading Mary, I'm like, well, I gotta know if he's gonna be a new favorite author of mine, so had to get that. What else is in the bag? Oh, and I had to get Mother Thing by Annalise Hogarth. Hogarth. That sounds correct. I don't know. I just saw this. I saw somebody talking about this, maybe a few people talking about this, and I thought the synopsis sounded really interesting. It kind of sounds like my kind of weird, freaky horror that I really like. And so, of course, I had to pick this up. I don't think I could find this at my library, so that's why I had to, like, get it physically. And it's probably going to be something I'm going to want to annotate as well. Then I got a really hyped fantasy, Grace of Kings by Ken Liu. This is high epic fantasy set in Chinese mythology, I think, or Chinese history. I love Asian-based almost everything, so I'm really excited to read this. This is a thickums, but I'm really excited to read this. I think this first book is more set like a year, like it talks about years and years of basically the setup of this empire probably, or something along those lines. So I am really excited about this. It is a big thickum, so as soon as I can get to it, I will get to it. But I think this is probably going to be a minute before I finally do it. And then the last thing that I got was Assassin's Apprentice. They started doing these in these editions in America, but then they got some nice floppums on it now, which is really nice. So like this book looks a lot shorter than like I think I've seen other versions of it. But so I am excited about that. I really want to start this sooner rather than later because all I ever hear is everybody just talking about it. And so like, I just really want to know, I want like another like great fantasy series that is complete that I can, just really dig my teeth into. So I really hope I like this. And so I can actually, have another great epic fantasy to read. But I don't know if I want to get into it this year because I do have to do a reread of Stormlight. So we will see how that goes. But anyways, welcome to the vlog. I hope to not have any more book purchases for a while because it's getting a little out of hand. And I've never actually kept track of like my book buying habits because I just buy it and like whatever, like I don't have kids and I have, a full-time very well-paying job, so fuck it. But yeah, keeping track of it this year, I feel a bit ashamed face. I think this makes it 17 books that I bought already this year. No, 18. I think this makes 18. And I'm just like, girl, we are only 2 months into the year. Well, I guess we're about to be 3 months. But that just seems a bit excessive. So, I'm just gonna keeping track of it this year, and maybe reflect on that in 2025 and decide whether or not I need to be on some sort of ban. But I don't. I think a ban will make me buy more. But anyways, I will check in with you guys once I have some more information on if I am gonna DNF Dial A for Aunties or if I'm gonna continue with it. But I will let y'all know then, or if I finish Bright Young Woman, but yeah. Okay. Hey guys, so pretty much disregard everything that I said about, what the fuck was that book called? Dial A for Aunties. So I did end up finishing that. I gave it 3 stars. I had a really good time with it. I do think it did go a little out there, just a little bit. And, there was like little to no character development, which was kind of annoying, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. And the characters were pretty one note, and I probably won't remember this book, but I had a great time with this book. It didn't feel like a waste of time. I had a great time reading it. There was parts of it that I laughed at a lot. Like the aunties really cracked me up a lot, and just how they kept making this more and more difficult for this woman to deal with. So I don't remember if I said what this was about. I think I did, but this woman goes on a blind date that her mom set up, pretending to be her on a dating app and not quite understanding today's lingo, which, you know, as an old person myself, I completely understand. But the main character goes on this blind date, and he tries to, I don't know if he was what he was going to try to do. If he was taking her out somewhere. I don't know if he was driving her car and taking her into a secluded area. So, you know, we can draw some idea of maybe what we think was going to happen. And so she ends up tasing him, and they get in a car accident, and like, she's pretty sure he's dead. And so she brings him back to her house. Her mom calls all of her aunts, and from there it pretty much gets crazy. They own a wedding business, and they have to try to put on this wedding while also trying to make sure nobody sees or nobody finds the dead body, because the dead body ends up at the wedding. And so, you know, it's a cozy murder mystery. I don't even know if you'd call it a murder mystery, because, you know, it's like a cozy mystery, I guess, with some romance in it. It reminded me a lot of Finley Donovan, but I do kind of think Finley Donovan did it a little bit better, because I don't think Finley Donovan went as crazy with what was going on, because towards the end I was like, there's just no way you're getting away with this. Like, I know you're not supposed to put your logical brain on it, but I just couldn't help myself at some points. But some things I did like about it, I really loved learning about the Indonesian and Chinese cultures, because it does a lot on that, especially the wedding culture. It sounds very interesting. It sounds like a really long ass wedding to be involved in, like an all day event. And I was just like, man, that's crazy. But I really liked learning about that and their family dynamics. I thought that was really cool. Just to learn about the different, that family culture. And for the most part, I did like the wackiness of the story until the ending, where I was just like, okay, like it's disbelief. I can't suspend it anymore. And for the most part, I had fun with the characters. Like I said, I thought the aunties were really funny. They didn't really have a whole lot of personality outside of like, okay, I'm the chef and I'm the older one and I do this and da 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 da. And I was just like, okay, you know, they're pretty one note, but maybe as the series goes on, they get to be more dynamic and, you know, act differently. But I don't think I plan on continuing the series. I kind of think I'm good with just reading this one and moving on. But, you know, I did have a good time with it. Right now, I am in the middle of, oh my God, I gotta show y'all this. Right now, I am in the middle of Bright Young Women by Jessica Knoll. I am loving this so much. I think this is a good time. I have several tabbies in here, but I'm about halfway through the book, if not a little bit further. But what the fuck is this? It has been ripped out. Amazon. Like, ripped. I have never gotten a book where it was like this, and I, like I've said, like I've already annotated so much of this book, and I'm so upset that it's like this. So I feel like I'm gonna have to like go to Barnes and Noble and like take a picture of that page front and back just so I can finish reading this. I mean, like, I guess I can finish reading it without it. I don't think, you know, like the question, you know, anything important, super important is going to be on that page, but what if it is? But so sorry, my throat really hurts. So far I am about halfway, like halfway through this. I'm almost on page 200 of 373. So a little bit further than halfway, but I am so much enjoying this. This book has almost made me cry. It almost made me cry on like page 2. This book is extremely emotional. If you don't know what this is about, this is following a couple of the victims from the Ted Bundy cases. And it's about, you know, not sensationalizing him and his what he did, but, you know, remembering these women for who they were. And it's not a nonfiction, it's not a true crime, it is a fictionalization, but I think this is done so good, and I loved it so much. Like, the pure emotion that this author has written into this is just, like I said, almost made me cry several times, just because she's written her whole heart and soul into this. And oh man, it's so good. I love the writing. It is kind of difficult to read sometimes, because sometimes I have to read over lines a couple of times because it feels a little, I don't know what the right word is, but sometimes it just seems a little highbrow complicated, and I have to read it again because I'm like, wait, what just happened? But yeah, so I really, really like this, and would highly suggest everybody read it. It's so good, and I can't wait to finish it so I can know how this author finishes it, and like read her author note and know if she like actually interviewed any of these women for this book, because this was amazing. Really, really, really enjoying this a whole lot. I feel like this is going to be 5 stars, so would highly, highly recommend this one. And I also just started on audiobook Shield Maiden by Sharon Emmerichs. This is fine so far. I'm really not that far into it. I think I'm just on like chapter 2 or 3, so it's going okay. It's, you know, a shield maiden. It's a girl who has a hand deformity, and she wanted to be a shield maiden, but after her injury she feels like she can't be, and I'm assuming we're gonna find out that she can be. And she's a total badass, so we will see what happens in this. Right now I'm not, you know, head over heels, but it is an audiobook. Those are easier for me just to turn on and just turn off my brain, so we will see what happens in this. But for right now, that is my update, and we will talk when I have something to say, probably after I finish Bright Young Women, because that is the thing that I'm so close to being done with, or if I DNF Shield Maiden. Hey, so we are chilling outside today because it's beautiful outside, and I am, hopefully you can hear me, I am sitting out here reading Bright Young Women. I am loving it so much. I am more than halfway through with it at this point. There's my little thing. So hopefully I'll get done with that this weekend. That is my goal, to finish that this weekend. I think when we last checked in, I was reading Shield Maiden, and I decided I just didn't care about that anymore. So I DNF'd that at about 15%, and because I just couldn't deal with it anymore. I didn't really like it. I just didn't care what was happening. It felt just way too young, like really young YA, which is crazy because it came from like an adult fantasy box, and it felt like a 12-13-year-old YA book, and that just wasn't really what I was feeling. So I am really falling into romance for some reason, or just enjoying listening to romance books. So I started the Love Hypothesis, and I'm about actually 50% of the way through that. I started that today, and about 50% through that because I was just bored at work listening to that, and I'm liking it so far. It is it feels very cringy at some points. Like, I was kind of hoping it would be more like The Honeymooners, but it is very, I don't know, I kind of am getting a little bit of secondhand embarrassment from some of the parts of it. I think mainly just because the friend keeps putting her in these, like, weird situations where she has to, like, do weird PDA or stuff that makes her uncomfortable, or what she thinks also makes Adam uncomfortable. So that's, I don't know, just getting a little secondhand embarrassment, but so far I'm liking it. I mean, I'm sure it'll be a 3-star book and be perfectly fine and suitable, so I'm just going to continue through that. I also don't know if I mentioned, but I am doing Realmathon in the month of March. So I'm on Team Time. So all of these books, all of the pages and whatever goes to that. It's my first readathon, so I don't really know how this exactly works. I know you have to, like, go on and put in your book and the page numbers and what it counts for and all stuff like that. So when I finish that, hopefully I will remember to come back on here and say, like, how many points I got for Team Time. But that is my update for right now, and check back in hopefully when I've finished something. Hello. And I was about to say welcome back. We're not doing welcome back. You've been here the whole time. It's me who hasn't been here the whole time. So I have finished a book. I finished Bright Young Women by Jessica Knoll. This was so good. I really loved this so much. Ended up giving this 5 stars. So this is definitely, you know, pointing out the I was going to say hypocrisy, but not really hypocrisy, I guess. Just the, you know, the badness, that's not really a word. Just the wrongness of fantasizing and sensationalizing of serial killers. So this very much focuses on the sorority murders that Ted Bundy did after his second escape and what he was ultimately finally convicted for and sentenced to death for. And this is so good. But this doesn't follow him at all. It's barely about him. It just focuses, it's just that murder is just the focal point, because this is following one of the sorority sisters that found him. This is also that saw him when he was leaving the house after the murder. This also follows a few years in the future another victim of his, and those are the 2 POVs in this. And it's just, you know, kind of talking about how Ted Bundy was talked about at the time, and how we still look at him today as, like, somebody who is super smart and, like, you know, oh man, how could they have, you know, oh, he's so smart, he's so hot, he's so whatever, when in reality he wasn't a smart person. He just was a great manipulator, and the people who were supposed to be keeping him held captive and supposed to be capturing him had some incompetencies. And basically that's what this is about. And it's also, you know, about how, talking about how women are talking about the victimization of women, and how our society looks at that, and, you know, they're sorority sisters, so they're bimbos or they're sluts or whatever, but that's not the reality of the situation. I don't know. I really loved it. It's really hard for me to explain what it's about, because, like, I don't want to spoil anything, and I don't want to take anything away from this, so it's just really hard for me to explain it. But I did tab it a whole lot. I tabbed a whole lot of parts that made me mad because of the things that they were saying about Ted Bundy, or just like the reality of the situation. Some quotes that I really, really liked, some just parts that I thought were written really well and done really well and just very poignant. I really enjoyed this a whole lot. So I highly, highly recommend this. And I can't wait to see what Jessica Knoll writes next. I did look at her other books that she has out, but neither one of those. She has 2 other books that are out, and neither one of those really sparked my interest, and they didn't really have very good ratings. So, but I did end up giving this 5 stars. I am enjoying this so much, or I enjoyed this so much, so highly recommend it if that even sounds remotely interesting to you. If you are somebody who likes to watch those true crime documentaries or anything like that, I highly suggest you read this. Like, it's not like berating you as somebody who likes to watch that, because I like to watch those too. It's just, you know, pointing out that we shouldn't infantilize and make these horrible, awful men seem like they're the best part of it, when we should be remembering the victims of the situation. So anyways, really love this, highly recommend it, and yeah, that's all I gotta say there. I am also about 80% through, so I got about 2 hours left of Love Hypothesis. We just had like a really intense sex scene that went on for like 2 chapters, which to me is intense. Like, I know I'm a noob at this situation, so probably people who read a lot of romance and really in-depth romance are probably just like, that's not really that hot or whatever, but it was a pretty good sex scene. I really enjoyed how it was done, and you know, they seem to have had a great time. My dogs have to tell everybody in the neighborhood to back the fuck off, so sorry if you're hearing that. Also, so I am enjoying that. I still am getting like the secondhand embarrassment feeling from it. So there is still that going on. That is kind of weird and awkward sometimes. Like, I don't know. And just, I really don't like how in romance, like how these people can't fucking talk to each other. Like, it is very annoying. Like, I'm just like, if this is a concern you were, like, I understand. I'm married. Like, I get it. Like, sometimes you feel like you don't know how to say something to somebody, especially when it's somebody that you care about a whole lot. Sometimes it's hard to figure out like the best way of saying something to somebody. I get that. I was like, but eventually you have to fucking talk about it. Not just like, oh, well, he obviously thinks this. He obviously thinks that. She obviously thinks this. She obviously thinks that. Instead of just fucking talking to that person is driving me wild. And like, there was a part in this that I knew was going to happen the moment we met one of these characters. I knew what was going to happen with that character. And instead of this girl telling the guy about what happened, she's just holding on to it and letting him continue to get in bed, not literally, but get in bed with somebody who is a piece of garbage trash. And I'm just like, no, you need to talk to him. What are you doing? And so like, that stuff in romance really bothers me. Like, I do not like that at all. And I guess that's the miscommunication trope, which I know a lot of people don't like, but then it's in every romance I've read, it's in there. So I'm just like, would you just fucking talk to that person? You say you care about them and you love them, so fucking talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, just kind of just drive me crazy. So in the end, honestly, that's probably gonna be just 3 stars. Like, it's not the best thing I've ever read, and I don't understand exactly why it's getting all the hype that it's getting. So yeah, I probably won't read any more Allie Hazelwood after that. Like, I mean, it's fine to just have an audiobook to listen to, but, and then the audiobook I have after that actually is Part of Your World, because that one has been really hyped. And I'm just trying to try out romance and trying to see if I can find romances that I like, because like, it is nice to have something that's not so dramatic. Like, I mean, it's dramatic, but like not so like intense. Intense is the right word. And so A Part of Your World has been getting a lot of hype. So that's like my next audiobook once I'm through with this one, so we will get on from there. I did talk about that I was doing Realmathon, so Bright Young Women got me 14 points towards team time, so that's nice. I probably won't be racking up the points for team time, but hey, every little bit probably counts and helps. So I did get 14 points from that. I have no idea what Love Hypothesis is going to get, but once I figure that out, I will let you know. And then the physical read that I'm reading ever since I finished Bright Young Women is Sunlit Man by Brandon Sanderson. This is Secret Project number 4. I'm not going to say this is following because I believe that's kind of a spoiler. I don't really know. Like, anytime I've heard anybody talk about it, they won't say who it's following. That it's just following somebody from the Stormlight Archive in the very distant future. So this is like definitely when like space travel is a part of the Cosmere, which is pretty cool. So it is like set very far in the future, so it's not necessarily incorporated with any timeline that's happening right now in the Cosmere, but it is still interesting for the most part. It took me a long time to get into this, just honestly because I had to look up a lot of stuff because I could not remember who this character was. Like, I kind of remembered. So I did have to look some stuff up, probably spoiled myself, but it doesn't really matter. Like, I didn't spoil myself for this story. I just spoiled myself for who this character is. And I'm just like, well, I don't know. To me, I was like, yeah. Like, I was just like, that didn't really shock me. So, like, I kind of felt like I always knew that, but maybe I'm just kidding myself. But the planet that this is on is really cool. I like the planet that they're on. They always have to kind of outrun the sun because the sun will just fucking roast them to death. And so it's like, from what I can kind of tell, they're kind of looking for the sunlit man who can like not be burned by the sun so that they can take down the Cinder King, I think is kind of like what's going on. So like our main character here, he is he's trying to get off the planet because he's a world hopper. And yeah, so like he's trying to get off the planet, but he doesn't have enough investiture to be able to get off the planet quite yet. So he's trying to get some. So he's pretending like he can't understand these people and trying to get more information. But I'm assuming he's gonna try to help these people, you know, get rid of the Cinder King and all stuff like that. So I am 91 pages into this. Just got to Hoyd, so that's pretty exciting. I don't feel like that's a spoiler because Hoyd's in every single Cosmere book. So I just got to Hoyd, and I love anytime Hoyd is in anything. So I'm pretty excited about that. I do really love the art style in this. So like, I don't know. So like, you know, I like this kind of sketchy art style. I think it's really cool. So I am very excited to continue with that. Well, very excited. I'm very interested to continue with this. I don't think this is gonna be my favorite one of these so far. My favorite one of these has been Tress, and that's kind of been it. The other ones have just been okay to bad. I really didn't like that's the second one, the one that had nothing to do with the Cosmere. But so I think this will be fine. I think this will be probably where Yumi was at. But I do feel like I need to read it before I can start my Stormlight Archive reread, even though like it doesn't really seem to have much to do with that. But anyways, yeah, so obviously Cosmere fan, gotta read this. Hey friends. I don't know why I keep trying to like introduce this as if I'm introducing it for the first time. Okay, so just got back from work and then I took Pattern on a walk. I just took Pattern this time because Zeppelin, my little Aussie, she is very reactive, and trying to take both of them on a walk at the same time, oh my gosh, can be very exhausting. So I just took Pattern just because me and him both need to go on a walk, and it's like 70 degrees outside and it's finally nice and we both need to start walking again. So but while that was happening, can you hear them? Give me a minute. Okay, So while that was happening, I finished, oh my gosh, what was the book called? Love Hypothesis by Hazelwood. So I did finish that. And yeah, like I'm saying 3 stars with that. It doesn't seem like it's going to be anything that memorable to me. I mean, I know this is like some people's like favorite romance or whatever. And obviously I'm not that big into romance, but I just didn't dig this that much. I didn't think it was that great. And, you know, I've mentioned a couple times that there was a lot of parts of it that gave me like secondhand embarrassment. It was a lot of like the weird PDA like her friend was making her do that just gave me secondhand embarrassment. And I just didn't like that. And like I said, like I know it's a big part of romance that like for some reason the 2 characters just cannot communicate with one another. But I just find that completely infuriating and like, you know, anyways. So I think in the end I would give it 3 stars. Nothing about it really blew my mind. The characters didn't really blow my mind. Their writing didn't blow my mind. The plot, nothing really. Was just like, whoa, this is the best thing ever. But I mean, it was a good time, good palate cleanse, you know, fun all the way around in that part. Besides that, I don't really have anything else much to update on. So I am thinking of, BT dubs. This is my like gaming room. So we have like this where we like play our video games and like D&D and you know, like board games or whatever. And like, look at these. Aren't these so cool? So hold on. Let's just show you. So we got, I was so happy to get these in. I got these on, oh no, my freaking, whatever. Okay, I got these on Etsy. If I remember, I will try to link it below, but that's the Shire. And then we have Shadesmar, the Gates of Shadesmar. There we go. Yeah, there we go. This is so cool. And then we got Mordor, of course. And then we have Luthadel. Isn't that so cool? I love it so much. And then like that has like all of our D&D stuff on it. I need to get like a little thing to put this samurai sword on, so that there can be something there. But this has like all of our D&D stuff in it. And then got a keyblade over here. We got Theoden's sword. I can't remember whose sword that is. Husband's a big Steelers fan. Like has a bunch of movies and board games on it and everything like that. And then this is like our where I moved the TV to, so we have this stuff over here, and then, you know, our TV with our game systems on it and everything like that. I don't know. I am sorry if that swirl was just a bit too much. I just really like how this room turned out. I thought about painting like this wall behind me and the one behind the television black, and then doing like neon lights and stuff like that. But I was just like, I've already painted this room once and I don't want to paint it again just for it to be black. So, but I really love this room. I think it has turned out fantastic. And I love these freaking posters behind me. I think they look so good. So anyway, I just want to show that off. Well, hopefully I'll finish Sunlit Man in this vlog. That's kind of like my goal right now, is to finish that before I wrap up this vlog. So I will see y'all once I have done that. So it's the next day. So I just started today Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. Oh my god, I love this so much. Like, it's so cute, and I like their little relationship. Like, I'm like 25% in. Like, at this point, honestly, if I just keep listening to it today, I could probably finish this book today. Like, I just can't put it down. I love it so much. Like, I like their relationship. I like these 2 characters. There's not just like a whole bunch of BS going on between them. Like, our girl is going through a pretty bad divorce because her ex-husband was abusive. as far as I understand right now, he wasn't physically abusive, but he was very, very emotionally abusive. And so, you know, she finds this like sweet hometown boy, you know, who just lives in this small town. He's just so cute and like so nice. And now she's in a situation like she's just trying to have a fling, and now she's kind of in this situation where her friends are kind of meeting him, but she doesn't want that to happen, and they're kind of just dealing with that right now. Like that just happened. So I don't know, it's kind of cute. Like, hopefully it doesn't turn into anything annoying and stupid where it kind of annoys me in that manner, like I think I was kind of talking about with Love Hypothesis. But anyways, I don't know what my deal is. Like, I never read romances, and like all of a sudden, like that's kind of all I want to listen to, at least, is romances. So, but I am quite enjoying Part of Your World. So hopefully that will turn out to be quite a good read. But just thought I'd let y'all know that I'm in the middle of that and hoping maybe I can finish that today. So maybe I'll take my bubble bath tonight, since I didn't take it last night, and listen to that while I'm in there. So we will see, but I'll let y'all know once I finish something. Hi. So I finished it. I finished Part of Your World. I was about to say Brave New World. I don't know why. Part of Your World. It was so good. It was so good. It was so cute. I really enjoyed that relationship, and just none of it was like stupid. None of it was like, why are you making this so complicated? None of it was like, this is such a dumb thing to be mad about. It didn't do any of that crap. Like, they were like adults acting like adults, and I really appreciated that. Like, so like some of my issues with some romance that I've read and like stuff that I just didn't like about it was because it will do, like, the conflict that's happening is happening between the people in the relationship. Like, just dumb petty stuff where you're stuck in their head, and it's just like, oh, like, I can't possibly tell him these things, and it's just so dumb. Like, it's just very childish. It's very teenager, and I don't appreciate that, because like, they're supposed to be adults. Well, in Part of Your World, they act like fucking adults, and that's very nice. Like, the conflict that's being had is with our main female character's family, and like her relationship issues with them, because they're very upper class, and they think that they're better than everybody else, and like they have like these expectations. Do you have to be right here? Can you go over here? Go. But because they think that they're better than everybody else, and they have these high expectations of, like, in this idea of what they want their kids to be, and they have to do this thing, and the blah, 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 and like, you know, she finally comes to the realization of like, this isn't gonna work for me. Like, if I want to be with the person that I love, I can't be doing what you people think I should be doing. And like, that was real. It felt real. Like, that is something that people have to go through, and not just petty bullshit. And like, oh, I just loved it so much. So obviously, if you can't tell, 5 stars. The Part of Your World is so hyped, or at least I've seen it pretty hyped, and it deserves all of that hype. It was so good. I loved it so much. So highly, highly suggest that. If you have even just remotely thought about it, it's so good. It's worth reading even if you don't really like romance, okay? Like, honestly, because if you want to see what a real good romance is like, I think that is a very good one to go with. This coming from somebody who's read like all of 4 or 5 romances in her life. So anyways, it's my favorite. That, and then The Unhoneymooners, like, is so good. So good. So I haven't gotten any further in Sunlit Man. I think just like a few more pages, so I'm like 110 pages into it at this point. I do want to finish this by the end of this vlog, because next week's vlog I really want to do like a reading women in fantasy kind of focused vlog. And I don't know if you know this, but Brandon Sanderson is not a female author. So I really want to focus that in next week's vlog. So like, I really need to finish this before that is over with. And today is Wednesday. So I got like, what, 4 more days till so that I need to finish this. And I got a lot going on this weekend. I got a shooting competition, then I got D&D, and then we're gonna go see Dune Part 2 this weekend. So sorry, my dog wants back inside. Just give me a minute. So hopefully I will get this finished. Otherwise, I guess I just won't really talk about it in that vlog, because like I don't want to ruin that vlog by doing that. But man, I have finished a lot of books in this vlog, so hopefully I can just fit one more in. Hold on, let me let pattern in. Anyways, that's where we are with reading. I did get my pre-order in of Finley Donovan Rolls the Dice, so am excited to get to this eventually, and hopefully this one is a step up from the last one, because if not, I'll probably be done with the series at that point. But I did get this in, so I am excited about it. Normally I listen to these on audio, so I am at hold with the library to listen to this. I think my next audiobook is going to be going into that theme that I was talking about. It actually is going to be my next one because it's one I just got from the library, and I think it's like considered a retelling, so kind of fantastical. I'm gonna count it as fantasy. Is Lily by Nikki Mary. I don't know how to say that last name, to be quite honest with you. So this is a retelling of Lilith from the Bible. So that's going to be interesting to read. So I did just get this on audiobook, so this will be my next audiobook, but I probably won't be mentioning it in this vlog because, like I said, I want it to be a part of my reading women in fantasy vlog. But anyways, I just had to come on here and gush about that. So hopefully the last thing I'll be coming on here about is Sunlit Man. So this is like #1 priority at this point. So I got like 300 pages left of this. It's good. It's just not, you know, like my favorite thing in the world. So anyways, yeah. See y'all then. So I'm coming to the realization that I am probably not going to finish Sunlit Man before the end of this weekend's over. So I thought I'd just wrap this vlog up here. I just have too much stuff going on this weekend to realistically think I can get through 300 pages just to finish it by the end of this vlog. And I think by this point we have probably read enough books for this vlog that it's okay to just wrap this up and post it. So I think my idea of what I want to do in the next couple of weeks on that vlog is just not going to pan out. So I'm just going to wrap this up here, and we will continue Sunlit Man into next week along with Lilith, which I have started this on audiobook. I'm like 30% into it, and it's fine so far. So we'll have more on that as I go. But so in this vlog, we read 4 books in this vlog, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we read 4 books in this vlog, so I think that's enough for this, you know. So we started off with Dial A for Aunties. Oh my gosh. Which I ended up giving 3 stars. It was perfectly adequate. We also had Bright Young Women. I gave this 5 stars. I loved this so much. And then we had The Love Hypothesis. I gave that 3 stars. Thought it was just fine. And then, of course, we had Part of Your World, which was a 5-star, love so much, top tier of the 5 stars so far this year. So that's the books that I've read in this vlog. Tell me what you've been reading in the past couple of weeks. If you've read any of these, if you're interested in reading any of these, please let me know. And while you're down in the comments, remember to like and subscribe, and we'll talk soon. Bye.